Hey, what's up? I just did the Valentine's one, and I hope the message was clear in that. So I'm going to do one on this. I only recently today found out about this Gucci thing. Yeah, I'm talking to, in text, talking to Unpopular Thoughts on his Discord server. And he said he's going to do a vid on the whole Gucci protest. And I'm like, I thought Gucci protest. So I'm like, I'm like, it's Gucci, it's social media, it's something like that. I don't know, but I'm like, I don't know how people find this stuff out because it's always hot fire real quick, and I hear about it 2 to 3 days later. Which you can see on the thing. I left that up there just for that because it's been 2 days ago for that picture, which I'll get to in a moment. But I asked Sidra about it, and I'm like, yeah. He said something about a Gucci protest, and she's like, oh, you haven't heard about it? So she tells me that Gucci put out a sweater. She described it, and I'm like having a hard time wrapping my head around it. And she's like, and the mouth is cut out, and and it's like these red lips on it. And I'm like, okay. So to me, I just like, okay, if you pull up the whole thing, it'll just be, I was picturing closed red lips where the mouth is, and I'm like, okay, I don't get it. My mind was like, it's just red lips on where yours should be. Okay, so who cares? And I'm kind of losing my head because I'm kind of stunned trying to figure it out. And she's like, yeah, like I'm there with her. And I'm like, I don't understand life. So, and then I look and I'm like, then my brain is like, nah, man. And I'm trying to kind of like, nah, because that's on the level of stupid that makes no sense. And then I'm starting to think more about it. So I'm like, look, let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm like, okay, Gucci, and it's like Gucci, what's it, Gucci protest blackface or something. I was like, okay, but I'll just pull that one up and look at it. It's a whole bunch of pictures, pretty much the same thing. I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, my first thoughts were, why didn't they just seal the face off at the bottom and just put some actual plush red lips there, or a big smiley face, or just a black sweater, as Sidra just said, or put a design that says I speak when I want, or I don't know, free speech isn't to be covered up. They could have done a whole lot of things. And so then I'm like, oh crap. Then I start going, and then she tells me like it's an $800 sweater. And I'm like, what material and what thread count could be worth $800 to go out in the cold? What? $800. So I thought about a few things, and I'm like, okay, let's tackle this. Let's tackle this real quick from multiple angles. First and foremost, you got to be extremely in a bubble or have zero empathy to make a sweater this stupid. All right. Now, is it zero empathy? Now, hold up. They're going to come up with, they did their whole, she told me about the apology, and I read, like, they wholly apologized for the racial something. And they always put the word racial or racism or something in quotes. And the reason they put it in quotes is because black people ain't going to think about that too much. In general, black people ain't going to think about it too much. But your typical middle class and upper class whites, it's not that even have to think about it. They already know about it. Those quotes mean that's what they call it. That's all that means. They call it racism. That's it. And it's like it sends that signal that it's a false flag of racism or whatnot. And Gucci made this sweater, and they knew what they were doing. Okay? When I saw the pictures, I was like, they knew what they were doing. And they're charging all this money. Mainly when you pay for a sweater from Gucci or any other place, you're predominantly paying for the name brand, not the material, not that it's mass produced. Once you pay for you get a high quality material, that costs a lot. It's handmade, that umps the price. But then when you have just regular material or better grade material and is mass produced, that lowers the price. Well, it used to. That's what it used to mean. When it's mass produced, the price is lower because it's mass produced. That means it's a dime a dozen. That's kind of where that term comes from. You know, I'm not going to pay you for that. That's a dime a dozen. I can get that from their store, that store, that store. Why would I pay you 5 times the amount I could get it from them? Oh, because it comes from this place. I got this directly from this country or something. It's like they got it from that country too. Or they made such a good knockoff that yours don't mean anything. That's the point. So why would they charge $800 or even more or even near it for this pathetic material? And it's not pathetic because of the blackface thing. It's just damn, it's either wool, cotton, or whatnot. That's it. All right? Which, it's like, look, they know that the hateful and the racist are going to eat this up. They knew when they made this, they knew they had a very short amount of time. You get it out, you advertise it. You have, because of social media, roughly half a day before it's fire. You've got another half of a day before it's viral and people are making their judgments. Then you've got another day before it hits, we're in trouble because people have figured it out. They know this. They knew this when they did it. So they're going to advertise it in places that's going to get the most heat in terms of buying process and buying power. So honestly, your middle class people and up are going to see it first. They're going to be looking for sweaters, best grade sweaters. They're going to be all about that Gucci stuff, not the Gucci knockoff. They're going to be about the straight up Gucci, where they can make 1.5 payments or a whole payment and not worry about anything because they got the latest thing. They're going to get hit first. That $800, because they know after about 2.5 days, they got to pull it. It's got to come off the market. So they're going to make that quick money on something that if it was just a turtleneck that came up and covered the face like that, and it says something like free speech is when you wish to have it or something, I don't know, some other logo or something, or just a happy little smiley face, a yellow smiley face or a sad face, you know, make your choice, you know, whatnot. They could have sold that easy for like $75. That's still too expensive for me, you know, but they could have sold it, kept it up, and no problem. They knew what they were doing. So now you're going to have a debate. There's going to be a debate. Is it racist? Is it not? And for anyone that's debating that, shut the fuck up. It's racist and you know it. It's bullshit and you know it. Gucci's done something like this before. Other companies done stuff like this before. There are people that's always going to do stuff because people are fucking racist. And you know what's crazy? This was a few years ago Gucci did something like this, and I was like, are people really this damn stupid? And I did this while Sidra was getting some onions. The last time I did this was 2016. I did something somewhere around November, October. And Gucci had did something stupid, or Abercrombie and Fitch, or whatever the fuck it is. They did something stupid. And the reason I said it, because Sidra just dropped onions on the floor again, like then. I'm like, that's creepy. That's creepy. But now now they made money off the racist. They made money off the apathetic. It was like, oh, that's funny. Man, look at that. That's not racist. That's comedy. Now you're going to find people that's going to be wearing this in public. Now you've got a couple, two types of racists. Those that are going to wear it around the house or to parties because it's funny. And then you got those that's going to wear it out and say, I'm just expressing myself. I can wear what I want to wear. It's my right.
With their MAGA hats.
Yeah, with their MAGA hats. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this. It perpetuates racism. And it's not going to go away. These people hate black people. They hate minorities. But this right here is a direct thing saying we don't like black people and we know our audience has more money than you. They'll buy it. We'll discontinue it. We'll offer an apology so that they come back. And if an apology did everything, I can go out, kill someone right now and say, I'm sorry, man, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I understand my mistake was something very egregious and it cost people a lot and it hurt the community, and I need to do better for everybody and myself. I'm going to be a better person for this. Then I go out, kill somebody about 2 years later and say the same thing over again. You know, I could track some. I mean, hey, look, if you want to do apologies, I can just track down some white dude trying to get home. You know, push him down a little bit, harass him, shoot him in the chest, and be like, I'll defend myself. And then if I get into a road rage incident, I can pull a gun and say, you know who the fuck I am? I'll fucking kill you. I could do that. I could take my woman outside with a shotgun and threaten to shoot her and her mom. I could do a whole lot of stuff afterwards. And then I could probably auction off the gun that I used to kill that initial white dude. And then I could probably draw some stuff for people to like. Wait, that sounds familiar. Man, this here was bullshit. If you don't think so, if you don't understand why, then you are the problem. Not the whole problem, you're just a part of it. And it sucks that we live in an era and in a time where this is going on. It sucks that we don't have young people out there convincing others that racism is bullshit. It sucks that there's more important things like, you know, cats climbing up trees, dogs barking, a squirrel or a raccoon climbing up a building. You know, those things are so important. They're the greatest things that we could watch. You know, I mean, we could do that, or we could just say, hey, man, this needs to end. I want a better life. I want better for me and my people. And who are my people? Those around me, those I connect with. It ain't their color. It ain't their background. It's who they are that I want to connect with. And this Gucci shit, in all honesty, it's not a protest. That's bullshit. They are weak-ass people protesting. Because after a while, they'll start buying that shit again because, you know, it's fabulous. It's the in thing. It's their weakness. It's not a protest. It's bullshit. It's a waste of time. I don't buy Gucci because fuck them. They're expensive. And now I sure enough ain't going to buy from them because they clearly don't like black people. That's point blank. The fact that they did this, fuck their apology. They don't like black people. And if you're going to buy from people that don't like black people, fuck you. Fuck where you came from and fuck where you are and fuck where you're going. That's the truth. You're a piece of shit. You're a waste of air and time. There ain't much good air left and you're fucking using it. That's fucked up. That's how I see it. If Gucci or somebody else did this to white people or Mexicans, Haitians, Africans, or anything, I'd still feel the same way because that's some fucked up shit to do. That's why you don't hear me use, you know, racial slurs and stuff because that's a fucked up thing to do. I'm not going to put that on my videos. That ain't happening. And then when I do it outside of my videos that you don't hear, I'm pretty much mocking the hell out of somebody. Mocking the shit out of them. Because fuck them. That's pretty much how that go. And that's how you should be. That's how you were obligated to be. If a company's going to be racist, dump them. You ain't got to, you know, bring light to it, spread light to it, and say, look, don't buy from them. Period. Forever. Not for a period of time. Gucci knows that your sorry asses will be back buying from them in probably 6 months when you done forgot about it. After 3 weeks, wondering why you was upset in the first place. Because that's how it rolled. Right now, it's the whole new viral thing. It's all good, and everybody's up in arms. And then in about 3 weeks, they've been forgot, moved on. They know something about Gucci, but they can't figure out what it is. And then in 6 months, when it's kind of like, I don't know, man, they came out with this right here. This is cool. Let me get this. And then you done fucked it up. Now Gucci's like, see, you are all my bitch. Now, in about 6 months to a year, I'm going to come out with some other shit. And you're going to be mad, but that's all right. The hateful will buy it up. You'll be mad. And 6 months from that, you'll be buying again. It's a stupid routine. And that's why we need standards. That's why I talk about standards. Because when you have standards, you control the narrative. You control the pace. You control what anyone sell and don't sell. Because these companies don't have standards. They just have profit in mind. And they know they can profit off of hatred. It's not a Trump era. It's a racist era. It's a Confederate era. And we're still fighting a fight. And it's not even the good fight. Because we can't fight people anymore. We can't fight them on the front of, this is decent. This is decent. Fight the indecent. Now it's, please don't be distracted so you can help fight the indecent. That's a fucked up two-front fight that no one's going to win. I don't know how Unpopular Thought, I don't know how his video is going to go, but check out his channel. Check out his version of it whenever he get that up or whatnot, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot better than mine. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.